Hello, you wonderful people. The reason why I wanted to create this video is because I see a lot of inexperienced business owners about to start their business and they're kind of all over the place and out of sequence. I'll give you an example. Some people get so excited they create their business cards before they create their website. It's obviously a problem because you need to add your website onto your business card, so there is some out of sequence that takes place. That's not to say you can't change some steps, but remember, as an owner of a company or entrepreneur, you want to make things as easy as possible for you. I'm going to do that for you, and we're going to make that a reality. So enough's enough. Let's make the magic happen. Step number 1, always have fun. The next 14 things I talk about might sound stressful to you. Well, it is if you let it be, because it's really not. Be positive and have fun. No matter what your situation's like, just understand that you're trying to make a change for the better, and it's not going to happen overnight. So why not enjoy the journey? You've already made the first step, which for some people is hard enough, but you can keep going. You got this. Number 2, create a sample business plan. What? We got it right? No. Yes. This is the most important step by far. Without a plan, you are destined to fail. You need to have a plan in any type of business you do. It doesn't need to be elaborate. It's 2 to 3 pages max. We don't want a 10-page plan. This is an ever-living, breathing document that you're going to add on to as time goes on, okay? This is what you're going to use to hold yourself accountable. You're going to continue to add on to this plan. So early on, you don't need to write 30 pages. You just got to write some of the basics down. And some of that's pretty simple. I'm going to talk about that in a second. It's really only 4 or 5 things, but you're going to want to put your company vision. What is this company? What do you envision this company to be like? What are the services you're going to offer? Write down everything. Write down the services you want to offer and what you're going to offer. Talk about your marketing plans and advertising, but don't think about it like, okay, I'm going to go spend $1,000 on, direct mail. Think of it as cost of acquisition. What does it cost to acquire a new client? If you spend XY dollars, you should acquire these many clients. Always attach a metric to it. This should always include your target audience and your ideal customer, okay? The next thing you're going to write on here is how can you expand your business 1 year down the road? Are you going to create more services? Are you going to hire more employees? Are you going to add another location? Whatever it is, write it down. You're also going to include your startup costs. Your startup costs obviously are very important. It has to go on there, obviously, because you're going to be spending money. So include everything. Whatever it is you think you're going to spend money on, just put it in. Add it in. Better safe than sorry. And the last thing you're going to add on here is you're going to put down 3 or 4 successful competitors and why you think they're successful. And then you're going to attempt to make 1 or 2 processes better to try to stand out from your competition. That is what we call a competitive advantage. It could be something customer service related. Maybe your competitors, they have a great product, but their reviews are really bad. Maybe their customer service is bad. If you improved on the customer service aspect, would that get you more clients than your competitor? So write that down, put it in your plan. This is a very important step. Don't skimp out on it. Number 3, choose your business structure. You'll typically have 4 choices, which include LLC, sole proprietorship, S-Corp/corporation, and partnership. The most popular option nowadays tends to be LLCs, and there's a good reason for that. The reason being is that your assets and your personal funds, like your bank account, cannot be used to collect on business debt. This can obviously make a big difference. In terms of taxes, the IRS treats single-member LLCs as sole proprietors for tax purposes, which means the LLC doesn't have to file a tax return with the IRS. However, you'll still report profit and losses on a Schedule C when you submit your tax return with your 1040 return. So taxes is obviously a whole different topic, which I'll cover in a later video. Number 4, register your business with the IRS. The reasons for this is pretty simple. It's so you can open a bank account. You need an EFIN to open a business bank account. The other reason being is that the EIN number is a 9-digit number used by the IRS and used to identify businesses and individuals for tax purposes. That's literally it. Number 5, open a business bank account. You want to find a business checking account that A, has no fees, or B, is very accessible, or both. There are some online banks you could use nowadays that have no fees but no branches in the area. That's going to be difficult if you need a card replacement or you need to talk to somebody if something happens. You're probably going to be banking with this company for a long time, so make a good decision and make a wise one. People normally don't go bank hopping. Number 6, secure any permits or business licenses. An example of this could be sales tax permit, could be something more complex like a liquor license. Let's say you wanted to open your own life insurance agency. You'll obviously need a producer's license for most states. The vast majority of business owners that start don't need any specific licenses or business permits. Sometimes certain towns require you to have a business license from their city to do business, so it's better to be safe than sorry and always look it up. Number 7, look for retail location or office space. Okay, so if you're opening an office like a warehouse or just a normal office, maybe location doesn't matter as much, but I do use Craigslist to look for office space, and there are other sites you can use as well. And one of the things I actually do is I'll drive around in the area that I want to be stationed out of, and I'll literally hunt down office space and call the number or any number that may be up. In some of my past businesses and places I've worked out of, I've gotten some pretty good dream deals this way. If you're looking for a retail location, patience is going to be key here. The good news is real estate has gone down from 2020, especially in big cities like New York City. Your primary objective is to get a place that's either easily accessible, is near a major highway, or has great foot traffic, or all of the above. When you're negotiating cost per square foot normally, along with what the landlord's going to cover and what you're going to cover in case something breaks down, like normal maintenance costs. So this definitely all plays a factor. Do not be impatient in this area. Even if you have to wait another 5 to 6 months for something better to pop up, do it. I've seen so many businesses close due to bad deals or bad locations. Number 8, select your bookkeeping and accounting software. Ultimately, you guys can use whatever you think is comfortable or good for your business. But I do know a lot of business owners that still use QuickBooks to this day. That's actually what I use myself. However, there's a second option. You can use a company called Xero, Xero. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but you do have some options out there. And ultimately, you're going to use what you're most comfortable with. It's going to ultimately depend on your business. Are you doing a lot of invoices? Are you doing, do you do like just a lot of transactions throughout the day? So you're going to want to use the software that's easiest to use, and ultimately you'll have to do some research in this end, but it is important to select a good bookkeeping and accounting software. Number 9, create a website. All right, I cannot stress how important this is. For some industries, your website can make or break you. However, what I will mention is that there are some extra add-ons or extra apps that you can get that you could add on to your website for additional functionality. For example, you don't need an extensive ordering system on your website, like say you were running a restaurant, because there are better apps that will do a better job in that regard, and they already have the infrastructure in place for those things. What I'll say is that you want to treat your homepage as a landing page, meaning your goal is to collect client information so you'll have the opportunity to offer your services. Go with a web designer that just doesn't design websites, but also has an understanding of online marketing. Again, that's pretty important. The partnerships you pick will go a long way in your business. Number 10, create local marketing materials like business cards, flyers, and thank you cards. There are a lot of places you can get business cards. It's a pretty massive market. So I'm not going to recommend any types of designs or anything like that, but I am going to recommend for your first order that you buy more. Don't just buy 100 cards. Try to buy 2,000-3,000 cards, because you're going to want to give everybody you meet a business card. Same thing with your flyers. And I highly recommend you invest in thank you cards. Every time you service a client, send them a thank you card. It gives you a chance to ask for referrals, and also you could even add a loyalty discount coupon in the thank you card. Whatever you do, get creative. You could even ask clients to rate you on Google and other places in your thank you card. Speaking of referral programs, create a referral and customer loyalty program. You're going to finally expand on your business plan, and you're going to include this in there. You must build a customer loyalty or referral program, both if you can. Add this into your marketing plan. This is the time where you're going to expand. I'll give you an example. I have solar panels on the roof of my house, and the solar company that installed it constantly sends me reminders of their $500 referral program. So whatever it is you're comfortable doing, do it without losing tons of money. And by the way, I did collect $500 from that solar company. I've actually referred 2 clients, and I collected the other installation that didn't happen yet, but it's $1,000 in free money that it just took me like 2 seconds to do. And the other example I'll give is back in the day, I used to eat a lot of Subway. And every time I would go in, they would stamp a card for me. And after like 8 sandwiches, I would get a free sub. And I could tell you, free subs always tasted the best, and it always gave me something to look forward to. So invest time in here. Number 12, obtain business insurance. There are many types of insurance for businesses that are usually packaged as like general business insurance or business owner's policy. This can cover everything from product liability to company vehicles. So a decent policy could vary greatly, but it could run anywhere from $300 a year all the way to, $2,000-$3,000 a year, depending on what you're trying to cover. But make sure you shop around and don't always go for the cheapest price with no coverage. You want the best coverage for the cheapest price. Big difference. Number 13, find a mentor. The reality is, everyone, you want to follow and emulate success. You want to work with people who've already had success in your business. You're going to run into so many problems, and sometimes it's going to feel impossible to find the right answer. And your wife, your husband, your spouse, they're not going to have the answer. They're going to listen, but they're not going to know a lot about your business, unless they're heavily involved, of course. If you talk to your friends about a business problem, they're going to look at you like you got 3 eyes. Find a good mentor, somebody you could highly trust. It's going to pay dividends 1,000 times in the long term. Number 14, create your schedule. I'm a huge proponent of work-life balance. So when you create your schedule, turn off when you're not working. If you need family time on Sunday, don't work Sunday unless something is so urgent that you need to handle it. And even then, wait till Monday. Unless you're a brain surgeon, it can wait till the next day. Respect your schedule. Number 15, have a grand opening date. If you have a retail business, restaurant, someplace local, have a ribbon cutting ceremony. Invite the local newspaper if you need to. Invite the mayor. If you have an online business, try to find groups that you can be a part of that will let you announce the start of your new business. Always let your friends and family know on social media about your brand new adventure that you're about to partake in. It's definitely really important to have a good level of support. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's the list. As I mentioned in the beginning, if you need to jump around, you can do that for some things. If this list helps out one person, it was well worth the time I put into this video. Please let me know what you think, or if you have any other thoughts I could help you out with. Other than that, guys, I really appreciate you watching through the end. Thank you very much, and have a super fantastic day.